Yeah, back in the bubble. It was really nice to get home and just have some normality for 4 or 5 days. I think everyone has, really enjoyed their little break. It was needed, to be honest. I think we had a long, stint in the bubble, 5 weeks or whatever it is. As much as we all get along, I think that time away from each other is really important. Obviously, but more importantly, we get to see our family and friends back home, which obviously, being in this environment is completely different. So that break was very much needed. We get back in and we're back into training. We train this afternoon once hopefully all our test results are back and hopefully they all come back negative. I think once you get back into the cricket, it's almost business as usual. So, I think, you always have that little bit of excitement as well when you're starting a new series. I think, once you're in a test series and you're playing against the same opposition consistently, it kind of just becomes a bit of a chore almost. But when you get the start of a new series, you obviously come up against new opposition, you've got that new challenge ahead of you, you've got that little bit of excitement. So that'll certainly be kicking around at practice, I'm sure. Yeah, I think that's, we've done that quite a lot in the past. I think we'd rather win the first test, that is for sure. But yeah, it does show good character. It shows, I suppose, that we've got the grit within the dressing room to come from behind. But as I said there, I think we'd like to start series a little bit better. We'd like to get our foot in the door, so to speak, and start the series a little bit better and not have to come from behind. In a 3-match series, you probably want to, in particular, get that first win under your belt early, just to give you a bit of breathing space, I suppose. But we'd like to start this series a bit better than we did the last one, and hopefully put in a strong performance this week. I don't know really. I think whatever team comes over, they're always going to be competitive. Pakistan are always a competitive team. They've got good experience, some exciting young players as they always do, some exciting fast bowlers as well. So we know that they're going to be a tough challenge, and we've played them enough now, in particular in our home conditions, that they're always a challenge and always competitive. So whether I can say they'll be tougher work than the West Indies, I think that's probably the right way to look at it. But we always look at any opposition and think they're going to be hard work, and we know we're going to have to be at our best. We'll do our homework as best as we can, analyse as much as we can, and then try and go out and do the business. No, it's not something we've spoken about. It's obviously something we would like to put right in this series. I think we want to win every series we can. In particular at home. I think that's where I suppose you're expected to win in your home conditions. So it's hard to put a finger on why we haven't done that. I remember being a part of the 2016 series, and it felt like we missed an opportunity there to win that series. I think I think that just shows how competitive Pakistan can be. Anywhere in the world, they always put up a good fight, and we're going to have a good series on our hands here. But hopefully we can be up to the challenge and come out on top. Yeah, potentially. I think we certainly felt at the beginning of the West Indies series that we were probably a little bit underprepared from a match point of view. You can do as much as you can in prep in the nets and in practice, but nothing really gives you that time in the middle and that match sharpness. So hopefully having had that series will stand us in good stead. But as I said, the Pakistan team are a dangerous team, and we'll have to be on the money from ball one. Yeah, that's helpful. I think that was a nice little reward to myself, I suppose, after obviously a tough 5 weeks of being, in this environment, I suppose. But thankfully it finished on a good note for me and for the team. I think to come from 1-0 behind in that Test series was, showed good character within the team. Good squad depth as well. People putting their hands up at different times. Really pleased with how it finished, obviously for myself and for the team. Yeah, that's right. I mean, competition for bowling spots is high. There's a lot of people that could easily walk into this team. I think we've seen throughout that last series that pretty much every player that came in put the hand up, particularly with the ball at some point. So, obviously I hope that I've done enough to keep my spot this week. But we'll see what the coach and the captain decide to go with. I hope that I've done enough to be in that starting 11. But like we've touched on, I think, you know, competition's high at the minute. We've got, you know, two of England's greats charging in and taking wickets every time they play. And we've got exciting fast bowlers as well. You know, it's not an easy team to just be cemented in. So, you know, as you touched on, my record in England is brilliant. I'm obviously pleased with that. I want to keep getting better. I want to keep improving myself. You know, and every time I get the opportunity to play for England, whether it's home or away, I'm giving 110% and trying to do my best for the team. And, you know, I'm really pleased with how it went in the last series against West Indies. You know, I was obviously really pleased to get the nod in the last Test match, and thankfully was able to, you know, show what I can do and put in a strong performance. So hopefully it's enough to keep me in the team for this week. But, you know, selections are not an easy thing, and, you know, I'm on a position where I've obviously done really well, and, you know, if I'm selected, then great. If I'm not, then I'll get myself ready for whenever my next game is. Ben, I've no idea, to be honest with you, John. We've all obviously turned up last night, and, you know, haven't actually seen everyone, to be honest with you. So from that point of view, I've no idea whether Ben will be fit to bowl. I know he had a little bit of a trundle at the back end of the Test match last week. Whether he had any ill effects, I'm not sure. So I suppose we'll probably know more around practice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, potentially, if he can bowl, that has a potential impact on the balance of the side, doesn't it? Clearly. Yeah,
I mean, it does. It doesn't take you know, I suppose a rocket scientist to figure that out. I suppose, obviously, you know, the last Test match we played four quicks because Ben couldn't bowl. You know, that obviously changes if Ben can bowl. So, you know, that's where I suppose the tricky decision comes in, and that's why I don't get paid what they get paid to make that decision.